Well, good morning and welcome if you're watching this live this morning. And if somebody sent you this YouTube video, it's definitely going to be worth your 9 or 10 minutes to take a look at this. It could totally change your life. More than likely, by the time you've received this video, you've either seen the day and night drops or body balancing drops. You've seen them out there on social media. Maybe you've already tried them, and now you're entertaining possibly getting them at a much steeper discount instead of paying retail, or you're potentially entertaining creating an extra income from home. Our special guest this morning is Billie Heggie from Southern Alberta, Canada. So if you're watching this in the United States, this will be more of a Canadian version. The company that we do the body balance and drops come from actually has 100 products and operates in 58 countries around the world. Although the company's the same everywhere, there are different laws in every country, so a few different dynamics. So if you are in the United States, just understand this is more Canadian centered, so you'll see a few things that maybe you're not used to seeing. But let's start with this. Billie, you've had a physical transformation on the drops, but more importantly, I think what we want to talk about on this call today is Billie, you provided a lifestyle for your family there in Alberta with a home-based business for many, many years, and you came over to the Body Balance and Drops less than a year ago, and you just absolutely shot to the top of the company. So talk to us about the freedom that this has given you.
Yeah, I was the skeptic, despite the fact that I've been in the industry for, 20 years now. In January of this year, I've been in another place for I've always believed in the industry. I started when I was 23. It allowed me to do all kinds of things in my 20s that most people my age weren't able to do, travel, go do some mission work in Africa. All the things, but it also allowed me to become a mom and be present for all of those stages of my kids' lives and still is allowing me. But when I found out about Partner Co, I really thought I was done with the industry, I'll be honest. The more I watched, the more I learned, the more I saw what was happening with with people's really their health and their lives being transformed from a health perspective. I knew how I felt and I knew I couldn't keep it to myself. And so here we are. And what's incredible about this, in terms of right now what this business is offering my family with just the economy and the way that things are with my husband's work, it's helping us. It's keeping us from worrying financially. It's keeping us from, it's providing for our family in a way that actually my business never has in terms of my income from what I've been able to earn and build. And so I think my favorite thing, if I could just put a bow on what it's done, I can when I look at the way I leverage my time here in Partner Co, I'm a busy mom. We're all busy. We're all busy doing things. We're busy moms, dads, grandparents, whatever. But I love that Partner Co allows us to make more money on the same amount of work that you might have been doing somewhere else. And that to me is just like an big aha lately for me of what's happening here. So I could go on.
So Billie, let's share real quick about because I think you maybe paid your $30 and bought from yourself, but you were really more of a customer here than a business partner of the company early
Mhm.
on.
Yes. So I remember telling my friend Anne, who shared the drops with me, I was like, I'm not doing this as a business, but I want the best price. So I signed up and I bought one box. It was really honestly all I felt like I could afford at the time. And I bought one box. I thought I'm going to try it and see how it works. And so I just started taking them, but I couldn't get over, and I just didn't even really realize what the all of the other benefits that I was going to feel. And then I 3 weeks in, I was like, holy cow. I messaged her and I was like, all right, tell me more. And I just started retailing, sharing some drops, posting here and there if I was placing an order, letting people get in on my order. And I was a team of one until January of this year. But by the time I looked at what I had earned, just dabbling, like being a dabbler, a hobbyist, if you will, I couldn't ignore that, and I knew I had to look into this further and pursue this as a business after that.
Incredible. So let's share with everyone how they can do what you did. So you can obviously some of you've already bought these drops retail, but you can become a part of Partner Co as an independent business owner And we actually operate globally. We're a $300 million company. You're looking at the owners there, and we operate around the world in 58 different countries. We have systems in place. Billy will be sharing our system with you at the very end of this, how simple it is. It's a cookie cutter system. It's free. It comes with your $30 when you sign up. But the only difference between being a retail customer and being able to have your own global virtual nutrition store and be able to buy from yourself at a 30% discount and have access to bulk buying is you pay $30 one time and you activate your business, and then you got to have one qualifying order a month. Meaning you have to one order that moves through your business a month of 100 points. But that's it. And that'll lock in 30%. And then the bulk buying gets it really about half priced on a lot of our products. And we have 100. We're only going to talk about the body balance and drops today, but no, if you're buying other nutritional products, it's a way to redirect your spending to a higher quality product, and you be the center guy instead of getting it all to Jeff Bezos and Amazon or your local store in town. Like, why not get better products and you get the middle cut instead of somebody else getting it? Know that every product that Billy and we represent, they're all tested and clinically proven, third party tested. They're all doctor created. You'll see there the team of doctors. Our top doctor, Dr. Strand, has written a number of books. One of his most famous is What Your Doctor Doesn't Know About Nutrition That May Be Killing You. And we've just added Dr. Plant, who has his PhD from Harvard. He's now head of R&D with the company and is just a cut. He's got a, if you go research him, you'll find out he was really had some cutting edge research with cancer. And he wanted a way in our industry to get high quality preventative nutritional things into people's hands. So that being said, that brings us to Canada's version of our body balance and drops, and we call them day and night drops. Tell us what about them, Billy.
So I was really excited to try these. They're really, one of the best. People will say, well, what makes them different from what the US version is? And here's a few things that I love about these. This is the product that 80% of the world uses in our other markets that you mentioned, but I love the simplicity of these. So it's 2 bottles. And without doing a deep dive into all the ingredients, if you want to know more about that, we've got a in-depth video and more details on that. But without doing a deep dive on that, I love that it's just super simple. You take, like yesterday, I was out and about, and I just took my 1 day dropper with me. It's 1 bottle. You take it 20, 30 minutes before your meal, and then your night drops you take before bed. And so it's so simple. You add it into, you pair it with a healthy lifestyle. And a lot of people might say, well, yeah, I could just, if I just cleaned up my eating, I could lose 10 pounds. And then I say, well, why aren't you cleaning up your eating? Or because sometimes it's the willpower. For me, it was food noise. I could not believe the food noise, how it went from like here to non-existent. I don't think about my next meal. I don't think about, can I have that? I don't feel like I'm like, what's happened in my mind in terms of the what the drops have done is just calm that right down. I don't have the cravings. I don't want the sugar, the junk food like I used to. So they're incredible.
And you've got some team members that are just really changing both physically and financially. I know that you work with Ann actually down here in the States using our slenderized version, the homeopathic
Mhm.
version, but her transformation is just remarkable.
It's amazing. We've got so many incredible people on our team. And Michelle, we've got myself. When I started using these, I was using them for 2 weeks, and I put on a pair of pants I'd never been able to do up before. And so that was a huge thing for me. Edith is over in the UK. She's had huge results using the drops. I mean, you can just see it, look it in her face, right? And what I love about this, and people ask me all the time, so how did you build your team? Like, how did you build your team? I'm like, honestly, your team grows organically here because people like Janine, people like Crystal, people that you're seeing on these slides, they use the products first. They're people like me. I use the products first. I was not interested in building another business or doing something like this. But what I cannot get over is how people get results, they feel better. But also, everyone's results are different. And so it just depends on what people are looking for. They might not have weight to lose, but they have hormones that still need balancing. And so I love that we can give people that opportunity to not only use the products, but then when people start asking them, hey, what are you doing? this is what we do. We share. Well, this is what I did. You can do it too. And it's so simple to just plug in, whether you're, 29 bucks, 29.95, and 30 bucks in the US, 38 in Canada. It's simple. You plug in, you become a brand partner, and then you decide what kind of what you want to get started with. And it's just incredible. So anything you want
So
to add there, Todd?
yeah, so when you do pay your $38 there in Canada, you've got to qualify your business, and y'all got a couple different options. You can do it with a 4 pack or a 10 pack.
Mhm.
But with the 4 pack, why don't you walk us through how you guys do the 4 pack and get all your money back?
So essentially what we do, so if you were to buy a 4 pack, I love now in Canada. So we built our business for the last, since I've been building a team and growing a team, all we've had access to is 4 packs. And so now we have the option to do a bigger 10 pack, which is really sweet. We've done the 4 packs. A lot of people, what I love about a 4 pack is if someone comes to me and says they just want to use the products, they're not here to build, but they're doing them with their spouse or a family member, I say, why don't you guys become a brand partner and get a 4 pack? It just is more economical for you to do that. The other thing is if somebody says, hey, I don't have the money to get started. I'd love to get these. I'm like, well, why don't we find three friends who want to buy a box and yours would be free? And so we sell them for $200 a piece essentially. And then look at like on a 10 pack, what I love is that the price per box goes down by, and I think it's another $6, and you can earn $800. Like that's incredible. When you look at how quickly, I couldn't believe it. So it was literally this time last year. It was a year ago. I said to my friend Anne, what does this look like? And she's like, well, you'll make at that time it was like $75 a box. Pretty, it's the same now. She's like, you'll make about that. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, this is unreal. And so I love that anyone could start their business today and sell 10 boxes and earn that income right
So
away if they really
talk to
want
us
to.
about this system, Billy, you're going to provide
Yes.
everybody.
So when I say that, when we say you can plug into the system, if you get plugged in and do, and you can earn that, it's when people start by posting, they get there's a few apps that we get them to download on their phone, and they get posting, and we use an app called Boards, and everything that you need to know from the text replies when people say it's literally, if you're on this call, you know about the drops in one way, shape, or form. You ask the person that you got your drops from probably 3 questions when you started. You said, what are the drops? How much are they? And then how long do they last? Literally, those are the first 3 questions. Some people might ask about the ingredients. Every single question, pretty much that you're going to get answered, is laid out there in Board. So it's a quick tap of a button for you to share those answers. So we very quickly, because of that, because we have that system with posting on Facebook, right? And the Boards app, it helps you grow your business very organically by sharing other people's results plus your own as you get your own testimony. And it's incredible. I mean, what we see happening when people come in and get plugged in right away. And my advice is, get plugged into the system right away. If you're watching this and you're like, I want to make some income and use these products.
Billy,
So
how much retail money did you make that first month or two?
mm, I so I know that I sold within, okay, I'll give you I actually haven't tracked it the first month, but I can tell you this. In that 12 days, I remember I had 12 days left to go ultimate when I called Ann up and I said, okay, what does this look like? And I sold 30 boxes. So it was about $2,200 in
And
that.
that was just strictly from posting on the social media on the
Yeah,
system?
yeah,
Wow. And people were
yeah,
just reaching out to you and you were
yeah.
just collecting money, I think, on e-transfer?
Yeah. Yeah. People just e-transferred me and then I would put the orders in and it became like a little game for myself. I was like, hey, now once I got some money collected, I'm very adamant. I don't send out, nobody gets a box unless they've paid me for it. I don't put anyone's name on it. And so I collected their e-transfers, sent them out. I've literally, since this call, I've have someone else messaging me, sending me money today to send out a box. So it's pretty incredible how quickly
And
it
then
happens.
and then the last piece of it, Billy, and this is a person's choice. Like everybody doesn't have to choose to do this, but you've now chose to build a global sales team of people selling
Mhm.
these drops and all of our products all around the world. You're building it throughout Canada, it's moving into Europe, United States. But talk to us about that. Like, like you're really good at this part.
So this is the thing. You cannot build, so with my experience in this industry, there's a few key things that you need to have in order to really, I feel, build a successful team. You've got to have products that work, right? You've got to have a system for people to grow so that when someone who's using the product comes to you and says, I'm having incredible results, how do I share this how do I share this with people? A way that you can plug them in right away, which we have that with our system of growth and our boards. It's all laid out. So I love that if someone on this call right now or listening to this video says, okay, I want to do this, with the tap of a couple things on my phone, I can send them exactly how we're going to get them started. And so you've got to have products that work. You've got to have system that helps people get plugged in, and then you have to have your people paid well. And that is the key thing here. People are paid for their efforts, and there's no hustling.
And Billy's a senior officer. We have an income disclosure statement from the company. So we always give a disclosure that we make no income claims, nor do we make any health claims. We try to give the body some tools to do what better. And we have a system that when you pay your $38 there in Canada or $30 here in the United States, that you own your business. Nothing's given to you for that, but you have now a platform you can put a couple hours a week into, or you can work it as hard as you want to, and you can make extra income, retirement income, get out of debt income, or you can do what Billy's doing, and that's go chase financial independence and try to create like real income, like big money.
Yeah.
There's no cap on what you can make here. So, Billy, just closing statements to anybody out there that that just a little call to action.
My call to action would be number one, if you're using the drops and you're using the drops to get results, why not at least earn them free, right? At least, at the very least, sell a few boxes so that you can continue on your journey and support yourself with even other products from the company, right? With that little bit of extra money. But I always think if you're going to do it for a little bit of money, why not do it for a lot?
Well, Billy, congratulations to your success. Again, no income claim, but Billy is a senior officer about to move to president. So our income disclosure statement states that senior officers that do hit that title weekly earn about $167,000 a year with us. Not about, that's exactly on the income disclosure statement. Got to do it every week. But when you do that, and Billy, you're approaching that level. You are senior officer, but you're approaching that level now almost weekly. So congratulations to you and your family. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
sharing all this with us this morning.
Thanks, Todd, and thanks for all your support. I appreciate you.